Hello YouTube, this is Marauders here, and this here is my Insta360 X5. I like this 360 camera because I like the idea of 360 cameras. It makes it a very good B camera and very useful in certain situations. But I'm not here to talk about this today. I'm here to talk about this. This thing is the Symik Insta360 X5 battery charging case. So it's a battery charging case where you just take a battery and it can help you charge the battery on the go. So okay, not just on the go. Basically, it's a charging adapter which you plug into a USB-C power supply, like, I don't know, maybe another power bank, and you're able to charge the batteries that are inside the case. So when charging the battery, you can then set how much power to draw from the power source to charge. So, and because it supports USB-C PD, you can actually get it to draw. It can draw 21 volts maximum from the power source. So we can actually set it to like draw 20. And now it will draw a maximum of 20 watts from the power supply, so you can see here. So this is there's a nice display here, so you can see like the condition of your batteries, how many volts is it having, how many amps are being consumed, the charge cycles, the temperature of the battery in Celsius and Fahrenheit, and of course the current watt consumption. So as a battery charging case, it is able to charge two batteries at the same time. So you can see that for the fuller battery, it is trying to use more power so they can get it back up higher before the lower battery. It will do some balancing to try and charge it in the most efficient manner. But that's not the most important trick this charging case can do. And I'm surprised that I can actually talk about tricks of a charging case. So now that we have two batteries in here, we can do a few, this case has a few interesting properties. So first of all, what it can do is, let's say we are out on a trip and we have used both our batteries up to, like, let's say 30%. Now we can continue shooting with both batteries until one of them dies, but it would be great if we have a fuller battery that we can shoot continuously longer before before we stop. So what this battery case can actually do is, now if I hold the button, so first of all, this battery case can actually act like an emergency power bank to deliver power from the USB port. It's a very 10 watt, 5 volts, 10 watt power output, so not really something that you want to use. It's just more of useful in a pinch. But more importantly, first we have this power accumulation mode. So what's this gonna do is, if I enter this mode, what this power accumulation mode is going to do is that it's going to take power from the lower battery. So you can see that there's an up arrow here. And then it's going to charge the higher battery. So you can see there's a charge symbol on this battery. So it's going to take the power from the lower capacity battery and it's going to push it into the higher capacity battery until it reaches this power level of 95%. Essentially, you're going to use one battery to charge the other. Now, you might think, why would I need something like that? But again, like I mentioned just now, if you had two low-powered battery at, like, say, both at 30%, and you just wanted to have that a little more time to shoot, you can actually use this and you can push another battery up at the expense of one of them, so that you can actually like shoot longer without having to swap batteries, which might be what you want in your situation. And of course, really don't expect this to be a perfect conversion. You're not just going to it's not just a simple mathematics draw of taking 20% and adding it into the battery, okay? There's energy going to be lost by the screen, by heat, and so on. The main thing is, at the end of the process, one battery is going to have more power than the other. And then you can, in the settings, you can actually set how much power to draw from the battery. So you can see that this 8 watts is how much power to use from the battery to charge from the source battery. And you can say how much power to top it up to. So you can set, so here it's set to 95, so that it can pull up the power to 95. So you can see, you can set what kind of voltage, how many percent to push it up to. So that was the power accumulation mode. There is also one more extra mode that this battery charging case can do, which is what they call the even out mode. So if power accumulation mode was to push power from the lower battery into a higher battery, the even out mode is to disperse the power of the even out the batteries until they reach the desired range. So here I set the range to 3070. So what's going to happen is that at the end of this process, the batteries power, these two batteries power ranges are going to fall within this 30 to 70%. So now I have a battery at 76% and 48%. So this 76% battery is higher than 70. So it's now taking it from the 76% and is pushing it into the other battery. So at the end of this process, both batteries will be within the 30 to 70% range. So in this case, I don't know why you might need this. For the power accumulation mode, I perfectly understand why you might want to use a power accumulation mode, but for the even out mode, I really ain't too sure why you might need it. I guess it's possible that, sometimes people tell you that you don't store your batteries with higher than 85% capacity. So maybe this is a way to just discharge your batteries so that you can store them longer. You can store them you can keep their life cycle better by storing them at a lower capacity. So it's a nice discharging system. And one last feature of this battery charging case is that, just like the battery case that Insta360 gives you when you when you buy an extra battery, they actually have a micro SD card slot, so you can take a micro SD card and put it in. But what surprised me is that, this is not just any normal micro SD card slot. You don't just slot it in. It's a locking micro SD card slot, which that's a really nice trick. So this is the Symik Insta360 X5 battery charging case. I don't know what extra name that they have to call it, okay? But I was just looking for a charging case to charge two batteries at the same time, and the Insta360 one is relatively expensive compared to this, and this has all the cool features, so I decided why not, let's just give it a try, and seems to be working quite well. So I mean, if you are looking for something that can charge two batteries at the same time, why not? Because yeah, like I said, it's cheaper than the Insta360 one, and it has that neat little trick of having the power accumulation and even out modes. Okay, so this is Marauders. I will see you all in the next video.